MSNBC's resident lol cow shall now diminish and go into the west and remain Joy Reid, as the ReidOut has in fact been cancelled by a diminishing network in and of itself in a major shakeup at said network, which, yeah, at this point in time, it's interesting, right? Because on one hand, cable news is healing, but then at the same time, who's it healing for? Because, well, it's not really helping itself in general, but then on the other, I mean, like, normally when I need a good laugh or I want to see somebody absolutely lose their mind, like, Joy Reid is always good for a laugh. I guess we're really gonna have to cross our fingers that The View never gets canceled. But Joy Reid, yeah, bon voyage, best of luck in your future endeavors. I'd imagine she'd probably, is very likely to, I don't know, either spark up her own independent YouTube channel, and I'd imagine it's probably going to go the exact same way that Don Lemons did back in the cut. Remember, he had a YouTube show? He also had a Twitter show, and then he pissed off Elon Musk, and then he cut the contract because he's just so uniquely untalented. But this is, it's interesting, right? Because we've seen YouTube make some interesting choices, and the fact that we're going to be seeing more of these mainstream personalities by hook or by crook find their way onto these independent outlets. And if Joy Reid sees any success on YouTube, I'm going to call shenanigans first and foremost, because Tucker Carlson, he has his fan base. He is talented and he deserves all of the success that he's gotten. But we've seen, yeah, Don Lemon crash out. We've seen Chris Cuomo, who is a bit of a goof, okay? And a bit is probably a little bit of an understatement. But yeah, he managed to wade through the independent space for long enough to get picked up by, what's that other, what is cable news outlet? What is it? No, it's not Newsmax. It's, I don't know, one of them that's out there, okay? Like, he's got a show out there, and I think he's doing it opposite of Bill O'Reilly. Like, it's a totally wild landscape, and it's a changing landscape because there's only so much TDS and Rocket Man derangement syndrome that can really go around and sustain a program before people just really tune it out, for every 2 years and then just come back around for the midterms or for the general election. So yeah, there's only so much time where you can lie to people's face saying that, oh, look at these guys, they're ruining your lives, when in actuality they're like, okay, cool, so you guys are wasting less money, you're getting out of more foreign wars, and you're actually following through on your promises. Oh, okay, cool. You tell me again how that's actually worse than the previous administration that you guys held up as just these beacons of honesty and truthfulness and the real version of the American spirit. Yeah, okay, cool. You can only piss on my head so many times and convince me it's raining. I'm good, bro. And it's wild to see, yeah, MSNBC and its audience even come to that realization just so long after everybody else is like, yeah, no, your shit's trash. MSNBC has officially announced the cancellation of Joy Reid's evening program, The ReidOut, as part of an extensive network overhaul. According to sources familiar with the situation, Reid will host her final show this week, bringing an end to her run on the 7 p.m. Eastern time slot. Yeah, and actually, okay, before we go any further, at time of recording, like Monday night was her last show, which is hilarious. But Joy Reid devotes a final MSNBC show to ways to resist during Donald Trump's presidency. Fascism isn't just coming, it's already here. Yeah, it's rhetoric like this and just, such beautiful haircuts like the ones that you have that really had led to the downfall of your show, because everybody knows that, yeah, when a fascist gets elected, he normally just leaves when he loses an election by hook or by crook, right? Joy Reid has devoted her final MSNBC show Monday to offering her viewers guidance on resistance or how to respond to Donald Trump's moves to consolidate power in his second term. Yeah, because the fascism is right on our doorstep, even though we don't know what it means to be fascists anymore. Reid opened the show by posing a question at the top of the hour. When you are in the midst of a crisis, and specifically a crisis of democracy. Okay, cool. Well, hey man, shout out to you for going down swinging, right? How do you resist when fascism isn't just coming, it's already here? Yeah, exactly. People are going to be eradicated. He's going to have his, mega jack boots marching down all the streets, dragging people out of their homes, throwing them over the, whatever, man. Whatever torture porn you have cooked up in your head, you make me sick. Earlier today, yes, MSNBC announced announced that it was canceling the ReidOut, and nobody cared. I'll be interested to see what the ultimate ratings are when it's all said and done, but I don't care. But yes, Reid's program will be replaced later this week. You guys would have, well, actually, no, anybody watching this didn't watch this crap to begin with. It's like you just like to laugh at the silly lady who just has a jiggly neck every once in a while whenever she freaks out. Yeah, being replaced by a new show hosted by Simone Sanders Townsend, Alicia Menendez, and Michael Steele. I legitimately don't know any of those people, but the trio currently hosts The Weekend. Okay, and will now bring their dynamic to the weekday primetime? Sure, Menendez's new role marks a milestone as she becomes the first Latina woman to anchor a primetime news program on MSNBC. I'm sure that was probably a big portion of their first show. I don't care. Can't see into the future, but come on, man. I think we already know. The shakeup doesn't stop there. Okay, under the guidance of new network president Rebecca Cutler, MSNBC is planning a broad range of programming changes affecting dayside, weekdays, and primetime slots. Interesting. Notably, Jen Psaki, host of Inside with Jen Psaki, is expected to receive an expanded airtime. Okay, reflecting the show's status as MSNBC's most watched weekend program. I can understand that. It's just what constitutes MSNBC's most watched program. Alex Wagner, who previously hosted a primetime slot, will continue as a correspondent, but not be returning to a regular evening show. Ooh, that sucks. Is he the guy with the flamboyant glasses? That's about as close as I want to get to that line, but I think that's him. Okay, the ReidOut has recently struggled with ratings. Drawing an average of 973,000 viewers in February, down from 1.3 million the previous year, a significant 28% decline. Ooh boy. You think that show's being produced by BioWare with those types of numbers? The drop has sparked mixed reactions across the media landscape. Yeah, because I like a good laugh, and I like to see all of the freaks just constrained to one zoo, because the MSNBC, regardless of the time of day that you turn on the channel, you're going to see somebody who is just so detached from reality that it's kind of like when Tumblr changed their policies for the worst. All of those freaks just spread to the different corners of the internet, and every site is worse off for it. Conservative voices were quick to applaud the cancellation. Former FCC chairman Ajit Pai, mocked the situation, suggesting Reid's limited viewership made the show's end inevitable. Well, yeah, exactly. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene also weighed in, stating on social media, hey, you can, just sign up and give me money because I say some base things on Twitter every once in a while. Oh, no, sorry. This is one of the other tweets that she posts, stating on social media that the network's decision was a long overdue acknowledgement of the show's declining influence. Well, yeah, exactly. And did it even have one to begin with? Because she's just always just been a laughingstock. On the other side, liberal commentators criticized MSNBC's move and and most of them made it about race. Yes, Keith Olbermann, oh my God, former MSNBC host, argued that the network's problems go deeper than Reid's show, blaming the leadership for a weak programming decision. I don't know. Thank you, come again. Pointed to what he saw was a troubling pattern, noting that a blunt black woman hosting solo often faces greater scrutiny and challenges in major media roles. No, Joy Reid was hilariously stupid. Just so happens that she was black and a woman. You see correlation? You're going to have to prove causation, buddy. Danielle Moody hosted the New Abnormal podcast. Wrong. Okay. A liberal female hosting a podcast. Of course, nobody's heard of her before. Expressed her disappointment, saying every time MSNBC has a shakeup, the black woman-led show is always the first one to go. Yeah, it's because it's the one that nobody's watching. That makes sense. Yo, man, you can continue to point out all of these people, but if there were that many people that actually cared about the show, the shit wouldn't have got canceled. That she immediately hopped over. Okay, she decided to take to a Zoom call. I don't know who she was on the Zoom call with, but I ended up seeing this clip that's out there, and well, yeah, she gave one final farewell. I think this was before the show went live, right before it aired on MSNBC Monday night, and she recorded this, I think, probably after the news dropped on Sunday. But she was a cry, weepy mess for so many people, and well, I just wanted to catch the very pertinent 34 seconds that's out there. And you know what? Due to the fact that she has offered me so many really good belly laughs. I wanted to give her appropriate sign off here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let the blunt black woman speak. Okay, I'm not going to be like MSNBC and silence the token hire. I'm going to go ahead and let her give her final sign off as intended. And I just want you to pay attention and just listen up. Okay, in case to see if you could take away anything.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that
That's right.
that what I was doing had value.
Just let it out.
Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I say this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you.
Yep.
Where I land is
it's gonna be, I don't know, probably right outside of Home Depot. Asking what's with the roof crickets. All of this shit is so funny, man. And this isn't gonna be the last time we're talking about just useless sacks of shit getting fired from all of these worthless fucking platforms. It's just what's gonna happen in the aftermath if places like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Meta. I guess Instagram, Meta at large, start to take in all of these cable news refugees, start to curtail their policies in order to stifle all of the actual independent creators, and then just start to become a new landing place for all of these disheveled cable news channels, because we're already seeing it with streaming services starting to adopt and look an awful lot like cable news and cable networks at large with all of their ads and high price points. What's going to happen with the true independent voices? Who knows, man? It's going to be a brand new world moving forward, but a funny one at that. And then also one with hopefully higher production values based on produced from sound stages that hopefully don't end up undergoing unfortunate amounts of fire damage. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.